Hey guys, King of Charmanders here. Today I bring you the best pursuit builds, a full analysis and the new meta. Well, we're going to take a look at that as this video analyzes the best builds using the new pursuit skill. We'll analyze the skill and how it activates individually and in group hunts. I will also deep dive into builds where pursuit is most effective and flexible, as in this is a good option, not that, okay, let's just slap a bunch of stuff together. Is it good or is it not good? Data-wise, we're going to look at the data as well. Alright, first we're going to start with how does pursuit actually work? So the English wording for pursuit is really misleading and bad text. It's actually clear in other languages. So here is a post from the community forum, and a player said like, hey, can you fix this please? Because if you read the translation in other languages, it actually makes a lot more sense. And here's the actual description if you put it by what it's supposed to say. When you break any monster part, your damage increases for the rest of the hunt. So all you need to do is just break one part. The English portion says, or the English description says, a singular attack. It doesn't just boost a single attack, it's all attacks boosted after you break one monster part. So again, after you break a monster part, your attack will be boosted for the rest of the hunt. And it doesn't just have to be you, it's also for your group hunt. So if anyone in your group hunt breaks a part, you will get the boost as well. So you don't actually have to be the one to break the part. So here's the overall question. Is pursuit meta? Well, is everyone going to try to clickbait you into saying that this thing is super good, you know, like every other creator out there? Well, overall, no, it's not. It works great for specific builds. Meta is something that works for a lot of things and generally considered the best. Pursuit in itself can actually be a meta, but if we're talking about the overall arcing meta, no, it doesn't. Because the thing about it is, pursuit only really works for monster types where they carry an ability to break apart. And here's monster types that do boost part damage. For Part Breaker, you have Black Diablos, Magnamalo, Nier Gigante, and Rajang for the hammer weapon type specifically. And for Special Part Breaker, you have Espinas. Now here's the thing, Rajang and Espinas don't really work well with pursuit. Espinas needs your special skill active, and being able to break apart for it to work makes it really difficult. You could probably break one off the bat, but if your special skill does not happen to break said part, you're just gonna be like, wow, that kind of sucked. And again, your special gauge actually has to be active in order for it to work with Special Part Breaker. The thing about it, Espinas is also fire elemental, so it's limited to fire weak monsters. The same thing with Rajang. Rajang is thunder, so it's limited to thunder weak monsters. The reason why the Nier Gigante kind of gets a pass is because it has Part Breaker 2. With Part Breaker 2, that's basically the standard for Part Breaker to begin with. You don't really need more than 2. More than that is faster, but Part Breaker 2 will do enough for you. And Nier Gigante gets that pass just because Dragon has so much coverage, and again, it has Part Breaker 2. Next up, we have the data comparison. So data is actually very important. You know, to college, you need references, and data is really good. As someone that played Pokemon Go PvP and made the leaderboard with it, as the only person to make anti-meta in Season 1 that actually worked because that meta was terrible. Most players in this game can't tell you they have experience in other games because they don't have any. I definitely have one, that's why they will never tell you it. And that's why this data is important and we need to make these comparisons. For Nier Gigante Melee, Pursuit beats out the best possible Elemental Attack 5 build by 10 to 15%. For the Nier Gigante bow, it beats out the best Elemental Attack 5 build by 5%. And for Black Diablos bow, it beats out the best burst build by about 2%. So melee is a big difference. For Nier Gigante and Black Diablos bow, no it's not. This is very relative because this really depends on whether or not you break the monster and whether or not monster has easy said breakable part to begin with. If you can't do that to begin with, guess what? These two builds aren't going to be extremely consistent. So, is it good? Yes. Is it game breaking? No. And the best builds have both damage and consistency. Unfortunately, Pursuit isn't consistent because this assumes you break a monster part. That's what makes the skill really meh. If you can't break something easily or quickly, it affects these results. No making it a heavily conditional skill because I've had people go like, oh wait, no, all you have to use the dual blades and eat some meat and have your special skill up. That's a lot of stuff you have to make happen. If you have to make a lot of justifying things to make a build good, it's not good. It's good if you meet a certain amount of criteria. That's the thing. If you have to meet all that effort, it's not overall really great. In addition, some hunts may make it to where you do enough DPS to where Pursuit wouldn't really matter or just save you a few seconds. Literally, against Espinas, I would still kill it in like 18 seconds, 16 to 18 seconds with Pursuit or without Pursuit because it would already literally be dead before I break the part. So again, it's very situational, very conditional. But the fact of the matter is, Pursuit 5 does 45% damage. So it is totally worth it if you could break apart. it is, don't get me wrong, in the conditions you can break something, it's really good. Otherwise, it's not really great. So it just depends. And here we have some live examples for Pursuit because you know you need to test this with live with multiple different ones just to like make sure it works. So for Black Diablo's Bull Blades, after breaking the head, damage clearly increases. First hit increases from 633 to 760. This is maxed out as well, so all these weapons I'm using as example are all maxed out. For the Summer 2025 Heavy Bowgun, after breaking one of the horns, cluster damage increases from 2304 to 3340. I also have a group HUD example right here you'll see later on. After I break the special part, damage increases from 805 to 1233. So yes, when you break special parts from Ripborn monsters, you do get that increase as well. And I wasn't the one to actually break the part for that example. Despite that, I still got the boost. Because if you see later on in a bit, you're going to see that I'm aiming at its toes. Devil's toes, or more specifically its leg. And fortunately, I'm going to try to break its leg, and you see the damage increase. So Group Hunt's Pursuit will activate after the first part break, no matter who breaks it. So no matter who breaks the thing, whether it's you or someone else, you're still going to get the increase. So don't sweat it if you're not the one to break the part during a hunt or group hunts to be more specific. And now finally we move on to the build. So this is Pursuit build number 1. We have the Melee Pursuit build. So this build uses Pursuit 5 and Burst 5. This would be your main builds for melee users with the exception of special other builds that work for specific mechanics, etc. And Part Breaker 2 is a sweet spot for part breaks while still being able to maximize damage. So Part Breaker 2 again, usually that's the best one. However, if your weapon does not have a Part Breaker level, or if you need that extra Part Break, you can replace the Zinogre Helm with the Black Diablo's Helm for Part Breaker 4 if you want to break more parts. This will sacrifice a good chunk of damage, but still works well. But again, it still works well. You'll still stun the monster. You'll even be able to just beat the unholy crap out of it. And you'll still be able to activate Pursuit faster. So, either one works. For this build, or for both builds, you need the Black Diablos or any weapon that has Part Break. You don't need a weapon with Part Breaker. Otherwise, use build 2, not build 1. You need the Zinogre Helmet at grade 6. The Black Diablos Helmet at grade 6. Either one. Either using the Burst 5 or you're using the Part Breaker 4 build. You also need the Espinas Mail at grade 8. Rothian Van Braces at grade 6, Espinas Coil at grade 8, and the Glavenus Greaves at grade 8. Next up, we have Pursuit build number 2 for the Black Diablos Near Gigante Bow. So the thing about it is, Black Diablos Bow is the most powerful raw melee weapon in the game, and it pairs insanely well with this skill. Again, you don't need to really change your other build if you want this one, but if you want this one, the build uses Pursuit 5 and Focus 5. This would both be used for both Black Diablos Bow and Near Gigante Bow, and Near Gigante Bow would actually work better because it has an extra level of Part Breaker, giving you Part Breaker 3 total. But Part Breaker 2 again is a sweet spot and will still work insanely well for you. Fighting Spirit also adds extra damage if your special gauge is full with the Nargacuga helmet. And we have Beatonis Van Braces, which flex with melee builds. Again, don't use Arzuros. I keep saying this because Concentration 1 is bad. 5% you will barely notice the increase for your special skill gauge. It's not worth it. You might as well have another piece that actually works well with other builds so you don't have to invest heavily in other resources. Because even getting something at a grade 6 from the Arzuros from base is still a lot of stuff that you have to spend. For this build, you either need the Black Diablos Bow or Near Gigante Bow, the Nargacuga Helmet at grade 6, Espinas Mail at grade 8, Beatonis Fan Braces at grade 6, Espinas Coil at grade 8, and the Gyrototus Greaves at grade 6. Next up, we have Pursuit build number 3, Black Diablos Heavy Bowgun. It's really good, it's really powerful, I love it. And this build uses Pursuit 5, Recoil Down 1, Reload Speed 3, and Burst 2. Now there's 2 ways you can make this build, 2 paths. Either the cheaper way with the Rathian Van Braces and Azarathlos Greaves, or you could go the expensive route with Legiana Van Braces and Glavenus Greaves. The thing is, the expensive build only has Artful Dodger as an extra. It does help heavy bowguns defensively because heavy bowguns are ultra slow at dodging. So if you get that extra perfect dodge, it's never a bad thing to get that Artful Dodger +1. To use this build, if you want to use it, you need the Black Diablos Heavy Bowgun, of course, Namiyamal Helmet at grade 8, the Espinas Mail at grade 8, either the Rothian Van Braces at grade 6 or the Legiana Van Braces at grade 6, the Espinas Coil at grade 8, Azarathos Greaves at grade 6, or the Glavenus Greaves at grade 8. Next up for Pursuit build number 4, we had the Magnamalo Dual Blades, where it uses Pursuit 5 and Status Sneak Attack 4. The thing is, you could actually use this with any of the Magnamalo melee weapons, but it works best with the Dual Blades. Status Sneak Attack 4 is a sweet spot. At 85%, you'll rarely miss blast buildup. I see people using it at 5, and that's a mistake. Honestly, I have very rarely not built up anything with SSA 4. So as long as you're at level 4, you're Gucci. You don't need it actually at level 5. And again, this is best used with the Magnamalo Dual Blades due to its mobility and attack speed. You need to be able to get from behind the monster or to its side, which was the activation condition for Status Sneak Attack, in order to get that blast off. So again, if you don't have high mobility, this probably isn't for you, or if you can't use a style customization change to make up to that for that mobility. For this build, you need your Magnamalo Dual Blades or any of the Magnamalo melee weapons at grade 10 or as high as you can get it. The Coil Puke helmet at grade 8. Espinas Mail at grade 8, Sisiaku Van Braces at grade 4, Espinas Coil at grade 8, and the Somnicanth Greaves at grade 6. Moving on, we have the Pursuit build number 5, Magnamalo Light Bowgun Stepping Shot Style, where we have this build where it uses Pursuit 5 and Evading Reload 4. The purpose of this build is to spam either Sticky/Custer Bomb ammo. Now we saw in the live example, Sticky/Custer damage will increase when Pursuit is activated. So, if you want to commit war crimes, this is the secret build I was talking about not too long ago, especially with this thing, because Magnamalo is raw, so because of that, you don't need to use it against elemental weak monsters. This works for anything, and it's amazing. So, along with that, we also have PARTBREAKER 4 here to inflict war crimes by breaking apart as soon as possible. So you will literally just be able to break a ton of parts if you can accurately aim with artillery or cluster bomb. And again, secret build that I'm working on when Magnamalo Light Bowgun is customizable, because I'm definitely going after that. To use this build, you need the Magnamalo Light Bowgun at grade 10 or as high as you can get it, the Black Diablo's helmet at grade 6, the Espinas Mail at grade 8, Somnicanth Fan Braces at grade 6, Espinas Coil at grade 8, and the Chatacabra Greaves at grade 6. In addition, you need the Light Bowgun Stepping Shot style change. So you can't actually use this one until Magnamalo's style change releases in basically a few weeks. Next up, we have the Pursuit build number 6, Espinas Melee build. So this build uses Pursuit 5 and Special PARTBREAKER 4. And this build works best with high damaging special skills like Dual Blades. This is for the Espinas weapons, because Espinas gives you Special PARTBREAKER +2. In addition, this build also has the Black Diablo's helmet to get you PARTBREAKER 3. It's just to get you that extra part break so that you boost your special gauge, because the way Special PARTBREAKER works, every time you break a part, you get an increase in your gauge. So we want to get that cycling as much as we can, so you could just take out the monster and blast its parts. The problem with this build is only works well against fire weak monsters, because Espinas Dual Blades or any of the Espinas melee weapons in general are fire element. So unless you're going against a fire element weak monster, this probably isn't going to do too well for you. But if you want to use it, here you have the Espinas melee weapons at grade 10 or as high as you can get it, the Black Diablo's helmet at grade 6, Espinas Mail at grade 8, Espinas Fan Braces at grade 8, the Espinas Coil at grade 8, and the Acnosam Greaves at grade 6. And last but not least, we got lucky number 7 for the Pursuit build with the Espinas Bowguns, as this build uses Pursuit 5 and Reload Speed 3 along with Recoil Down 3. Paralysis ammo will help your group break parts safely, and you as well if you're doing an individual hunt, but unfortunately, as with the Espinas weapons, they're fire elemental, so they only work well against fire weak monsters. They work well with Pursuit, but they're limited to needing Reload Speed and Recoil Down 3. That's the big problem. Unlike the Black Diablo's Heavy Bowgun, where you just need one level of Recoil Down, unfortunately both to make this effective. Along with that, you better hope your special skill lands, because you don't have a lot of flexibility, unfortunately. But with this build, you can and do a lot of heavy damage if you're able to break those parts and use bowguns effectively. For this build, you need the Espinas Mail and the Coil at grade 8, as well as the Namiel Helmet at grade 8, the Pasarios Fan Braces at grade 6, and the Azarathos Greaves at grade 6. Hopefully this helps you decide what to build for Pursuit. The thing is, Pursuit is heavily conditional. You have to break a part in order for it to work. If your current build already breaks and destroys monsters, and you're already good, like, I'm not going to overhaul my Black Diablo's build for 2% more potential damage, especially since it's not a consistent build, so that result isn't going to be consistent to begin with. Because it depends on the monster you're fighting, depends whether you can break parts or not, especially for Elder Dragons. Elder Dragons, if you cannot break a part early for an Elder Dragon, guess what? You're not going to get that boost for a lot of the fight. So again, it's good, but it's not consistent. With that being said, please do me a huge favor. Like, subscribe, and comment for the YouTube algorithm. Good luck on your grinds. If you do decide to use Pursuit, it's not bad. It's good. Again, in certain conditions, and I'm definitely building that Magnum Auto one because I want, as a military veteran, I love blowing stuff up. And I definitely want to use that stepping shot thing because it's going to be so much fun. And it's good, factually good. And you do a lot of damage. So that being said, good luck on your grinds, and I will see y'all on the next video.